Ladies and gentlemen, Bellator MMA live on Showtime from Chicago, Illinois. The time has come to conclude tonight's double main event. We'll go 5 5-minute rounds for the Bellator Welterweight World Championship. Under the supervision, once again, of the Illinois State Athletic Commission, we'll introduce the blue corner first. At 6'1", weighing in 169.6 pounds. Victorious in his last 6 consecutive fights, he's now ranked at number 2 and stands with 16 professional victories, 4 losses. Originally from Jamaica, he's fighting out of Coconut Creek, Florida. The challenger, the ass-kicking machine, Jason Jackson. And across the cage, the champion tonight fights out of the red corner at 5'11", weighing in 169.6 pounds, intent on adding to the sport's longest active win streak tonight. He makes his second world title defense, entering with the perfect professional record of 27-0, hailing from and fighting for Irpin, Ukraine. Ladies and gentlemen, the undefeated, reigning and defending Bellator welterweight world champion, Yaroslav Amosov. And the referee in charge, Blake Grice.
Just step up. Gentlemen, you know the rules. I do expect a clean fight. Obey my commands. Protect yourself at all times. If you want to touch gloves, do it now. Good luck to you both. Watch the cord behind you.
The Bellator Welterweight Championship hangs in the balance. Yaroslav Amosov has recorded 13 first-round finishes, including 7 submissions. While Jason Jackson, he's gone the distance in his last 8 fights, but he does have 4 wins via first-round KO.
You ready? Fight!
The bell in round 1, the 2-touch gloves. Amosov spent a month and a half training at ATT in Florida. Jackson trains at Kill Cliff Fight Club. So it is the battle of Sunshine State camps and whose sun is going to shine brightest as Amosov and Jackson meet face to face. And Amosov already feinted, looking for the level change, looking for that takedown, defended by Jackson. Jackson with the right uppercut.
Nice job by Jackson there, defended the takedown. He ate that low calf kick, and he's got to be careful about how many of those he's going to eat. Don't want to take more than about 2 around.
Lateral movement by Amosov, again looking for the takedown, and again denied by Jackson. Calf kick by Amosov to the lead leg of the challenger. Inside low kick by the champion.
Jason Jackson looking good right now, putting a lot of pressure, looking to put his hands on Amosov.
.90 seconds gone here in the first round. Amosov continues to use lateral movement. Then a calf kick, another calf kick to the lead leg, and Jackson looking to close the distance while Amosov was looking for the takedown again.
Jackson did a great job of getting his hands down low to stop that takedown.
21st professional fight for the 33-year-old Jason Jackson. Amosov in his 28th professional fight. Yet to taste defeat and knocking on the door of that legendary winning streak of Khabib Nurmagomedov, who retired at 29-0. Nice right uppercut again, and immediately Jackson looking to control the back of Amosov. Sneaks behind him, John.
Very nicely done by Jason Jackson. And this is what we're talking about. Don't just look for a normal takedown. It's when the opportunity is there and you can do it easily. Go after it at that point. Right here, he's gonna have a hard time getting a hold of him. Nice job by Amosov, but didn't burn a whole lot of energy, and that's being smart.
1-2 lands for Jackson. Counter right hand scores for the champion upstairs.
Yeah, 2 of those landed, and then
another right hand and a left head kick by Amosov. Knee up the middle by Jackson. Jackson steps back and resets.
Nice job of cutting off that cage. He's not just chasing, he's forcing him which direction he wants him to go. Good job by Jason Jackson with his footwork.
Jackson starting to close the distance, putting on the pressure. Amosov still able to utilize his footwork, and now they clinch. Double underhooks by Jackson, though. Jockeying for control. Some separation there, framed by Amosov. Amosov looking to break and then looking for the takedown, and again defended by Jackson. So Jackson doing a great job in stifling the takedown attempts of the defending welterweight champion here with less than a minute remaining in the opening round.
Yeah, he did a beautiful job. We call stonewalling that, getting his hips back.
Calf kick by Amosov, and again the level change, and then Jackson right there.
Jackson just being tenacious with his wrestling defense, not allowing Amosov to get his hands in any position to get clasped together.
30 seconds left in the first. Amosov already 0 for 3 in the takedown department. Both of them have thrown around the same amount of strikes, and Amosov has a slight lead right now in total strikes landed. Oh, nice right hand by Jackson. Competitive opening round here in Chicago. The bell in round 2.
Jason Jackson has got that look of determination. I love the look on his face, but in that round it was close, but the better shots and more were landed by Amosov, even though it's super close. I gave it to the champ, Amosov.
Another lead right hand lands for the challenger, Jackson. There's a right hand body kick combination by Amosov.
That's a good thing you saw from Jackson. He started to go after that low calf kick.
Amosov switching stances. Continues to utilize lateral movement, trying to, it closes the distance, but again is thwarted by Jason Jackson when it comes to the takedown. Jackson launches a knee, and Amosov responds with a body kick and using the left hand to try to bait Jackson, looking for the level change. But my goodness, you talk about a stone wall.
He has stonewalled the entire time. It's really impressive what Jason Jackson is doing defensively with his wrestling. Amosov is honestly, he hasn't gotten close to a takedown with Jason Jackson. You figure we would have seen him take down Jackson's training partner, Logan Storley. Guys like Ed
decorated wrestler Logan Storley. You're right. And again, Jackson telling us Storley was able to, of course, give him a lot of information we're not privy to, because Storley has been in the cage 40 minutes with Amosov, and while he was 0 for 2 against Amosov, you do pick up a lot of pointers.
That was a very nice elbow on the exit by Amosov. You always want, if you're going to exit, leave them something to remember. Good shot.
2 minutes gone here in the second. Jackson goes to the sternum with the jab. Jackson intent to stay in front of Amosov, bouncing up and down. Amosov has used that lateral movement and on cue, moving to his right, looking for the takedown, changing levels again, but Johnny's not. He's naked shots. There's a right uppercut that lands for Jackson, but Amosov, dare I say, telegraphing these takedown attempts.
You're absolutely right. And if you go back to our keys to victory, one of them was, how do you get those takedowns? You can't just go a normal takedown. You have to do it off your hands. He's not doing that.
In between rounds, of course, we heard from both corners, and it's interesting, Mike Brown was motioning to Amosov with the right uppercut, while it's Jackson that is landing the right uppercut. And the jab. 2 minutes left here in the second. Jackson hanging tough with the defending champion. And there's a calf kick by Jackson.
It was a little above the calf, but I tell you, it was a hard shot.
Oh, and a right uppercut. And again, jacks the jaw of Amosov, testing that beard.
That was a solid right hand by Jason Jackson. You could hear the thud.
This time, Amosov able to get the waist lock, get back control momentarily. Now looking to finally take down Jackson. He's 0 for 6.
I'll tell you what you're really seeing is how physically strong Jason Jackson is. Amosov trying to change directions, trying to sweep out the legs, using all kinds of technique. And Jason Jackson just being a statue of just holding himself up against the cage, using it as a balance point.
Jackson with the height and reach advantage. 45 seconds left in the second. The tenacious Amosov, talking determination, wants desperately to bring Jackson to the ground. Jackson, meanwhile, trying to break the grip of the champion. Elbow lands for Jackson. Back elbow, another back elbow, just off the top of the head of the champ. Looking for that standing switch, but the waist lock still being employed by Amosov.
Amosov really's got that grip on it, but he's not been able to get him down. Well, there he gets him to his knees, but he's been unable to do anything offensive other than hold on to it.
Jason Jackson's takedown defense has been the story in the opening 2 rounds of this fight. According to our stats, John, the defending champion, Amosov, 0 for 11 in takedowns.
That's an amazing statistic. If you would have told me that before the fight, I said, I don't think so. Jason's good with his wrestling.
So is Amosov. The level.
Oh, Jason Jackson going after his own takedown here. These guys have just basically canceled each other out when it comes to the wrestling.
Knee up the middle by Jackson. Over under. Sets in the center of the cage there. Jackson with the jab. But Amosov in tough against this challenger. And in terms of strikes landed, we are dead even at 29 apiece. Oh, that right uppercut again. And the knee from Jackson. Amosov still standing.
He took a huge shot. That uppercut by Jason Jackson landed right under his chin. Beautifully placed by Jackson.
And the right cross lands. Another right hand for Jackson. So Jackson beginning to find his rhythm and flow in the striking department. Landing some hard shots on the defending champion.
Jason Jackson's starting to feel it. So you can just take a look at the way he's starting to move in this fight. He's got that feeling like, oh yeah.
There's again, long range right uppercut. That one was a calf kick. Jab splits the guard. And that's the other thing, not a lot of head movement from Amosov, not getting off that center line, and he got caught and dropped with the right hand. Jason Jackson, grounding and pounding, the champion is hurt, the champion in trouble, and the champion has been defeated.
Ladies and gentlemen, inside the Bellator cage, the end comes. 2 minutes, 8 seconds into round number 3. The winner by knockout, and now the
Jason, how does it sound having your name attached to new champion of the world?
Hey, this feel like a dream, and I woke up and I still feel like I'm dreaming because I can't believe it. Hey, remember this, every man have a dream and every man have a nightmare, and you're looking at him. I'm a fucking nightmare.
Jason, we've talked many times about all the things that you do, all the training you put in, the jobs you work, everything you do. And the one thing you kept telling me is, John, you see these hands? Let me put these hands on you, you'll see what happens.
Yeah, I highly believe in these hands. I've been working them for a while. And a lot of people sleep on my wrestling. Wrestling is my first base. That's my first art to martial arts, so surprise, surprise. I'm a wrestler as well.
Look at your wrestling was unbelievable. You stopped every one of his takedown attempts in this cage tonight. I believe it was 13 attempts, 0 results.
Hey, I'm not surprised. I'm working with the best. You know what I'm saying? Robbie Lawler, Logan Sterling, Henry Hoof, Michael Johnson, Bill Delano. Look at my corner, the Corey Peacock, my brother, Rich. And one and only person I don't want to forget is Dave Martin, because without him, none of this would be possible.
I just want to congratulate you on being the new champion. Oh, Jason Jackson.
Don't forget, Greg Jones. I'm sorry, Greg Jones. You're one of the most important on the list. And Kill Cliff, yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the man, the welterweight champion of the world, Jason, the ass-kicking machine Jackson. All the good things that you see here, very close, but that 172.8 means Douglas Lima did not make weight. He is losing 20% of his purse, which is going over to Jason Jackson. He should have come in at 171 or below. Unfortunately, he did not make weight.
And that just adds to the recent trials and tribulations for the former 3-time champion. Let's now go back inside the cage. Once again, Michael C. Williams.
Bellator MMA live on Showtime from Emerald Queen Casino here in Tacoma. The time has come for the main event of the evening. 3 5-minute rounds in the welterweight division. And now, first, introducing the blue corner. At 6'1", weighing in 171 pounds, riding a 5-fight win streak, the number 4 ranked contender enters with 15 professional victories, 4 losses from Jamaica. He fights out of Coconut Creek, Florida, introducing the ass-kicking machine, Jason Jackson. And across the cage, his adversary, fighting out of the red corner. At 6'1", weighing in 172.8 pounds, the 3-time former welterweight world champion tonight stands with an impressive 32 professional victories, 10 defeats, currently ranked at number 3. He fights out of Atlanta, Georgia, and hails from Goiânia, Goiás, Brazil, introducing Douglas the Phenom. And when the bell rings, the referee in charge, Jason Herzog.
Okay, fighters gone over the rules on back. There was no final question from you, Blue. There were no final questions from you, Blue. If you want to touch gloves again, do it again. Come out ready to fight.
Main event, Bellator 283, Douglas Lima has fought a full 5 rounds 7 times in his career. 14 wins by KO or submission in the opening round, but it's been 9 years since that happened for Jason Jackson. He has 4 wins via first-round KO, but his previous 7 fights have gone to the judges. He could be expected to go 5 rounds here in this main event. He is ranked number 4, Lima ranked at number 3. And you would expect, after what we have discussed and talking to both camps, both fighters, they want faster starts. They want more of offensive output. And of course, here in the Pacific Northwest, in the shadows of Seattle, where Sir Mix-a-Lot had a big hit when Baby got back. Lima, Bellator Sir kicks a lot. He would like to get back on the winning track tonight.
He definitely does, and he needs to use that kick right there to get him in line to do that. Both these guys have talked about finishing their opponents. They both said, I need to finish tonight. I need to prove something, which hopefully is going to mean that they both have an urgency towards going.
And there's that calf kick, and you know, we joke, but it's true. The moniker fits. Douglas Lima has known for crushing kicks, and now he's getting busy in that department, attacking the lead leg of Jackson with those calf kicks.
Yeah, the one thing that we need to see out of Douglas Lima in this fight is output. He's been waiting. Lately, in his fights, he's been waiting. Well, don't wait. He's got to go, and that's what he's starting to do.
Yeah, he's really attacking the lead leg of Jason Jackson here in the first minute and change, and again, continues to attack with the low leg kick. And Jackson, though, measuring him up, and he gets picked off.
That was a clean left hand that landed on Jackson as he came in.
He comes in with a calf kick of his own, so an aggressive start. Jackson immediately testing that takedown defense of Douglas Lima and making it actually look easy. Lima is known to make you really earn the takedown, and yet, as we just mentioned, 4 times against Mousasi, 5 times against Amosov, and now being taken down in round 1 by Jackson.
Absolutely, and the one thing I want to see out of Douglas Lima right now, are you going to settle on the bottom and allow Jason Jackson to just sit here in your guard and throw shots at you? Douglas Lima needs to have an urgency here. Feet on the hips, hook sweeps, anything you can to cause a disruption and get yourself back to your feet or get to the top position. Because the one thing about Douglas Lima, is he does have a good guard. He's got a good defense. He doesn't take a lot of damage.
Only been submitted
there.
Once.
And he doesn't take a lot of damage there. That was early on.
Very early.
So
back in 2008, the Brett Weidman via armbar.
Exactly. It's easy to understand why he says, oh, I'll stay in guard. But he's got to look at it and say, every time I do this and I close my guard like this, I end up losing the round.
Chance of Lima as the fans here at Emerald Queen Casino support the former 3-time champion who, with 19 fights in the Bellator welterweight division, is tied with Andrei Korshkov for the most appearances. Of course, he moved up to middleweight to challenge Gegard Mousasi, daring to be great, and it's what began the first losing streak of his estimable decade-and-a-half career, and Jason Jackson working from the open guard of Lima.
There you see Lima looking towards that hook sweep.
Yep, butterfly hook. Just under 90 seconds left in the first round.
But overall, since the takedown, take a look at what's happening. Jason Jackson has been landing small shots, but they've been landing and they're just adding up. Douglas Lima's got to figure out, this is not the way that I'm going to get my win. I've got to open up, turn, do whatever it takes, get my back against the fence, but get back to my feet. Nice clean elbow.
Under a minute left in the first round, and Jackson continues to work from top position. The close guard of Lima, and Jackson looking to make Lima pay. 45 seconds left in the opening frame.
You got to look at Jason Jackson. Here's a guy that works out with guys like Gilbert Burns, world champions in jiu-jitsu. He's comfortable down here. It's not like he's worried about being submitted. He's seen it. He's been there. He's done it. So,
yeah, he's never been submitted, Jackson. He's been stopped twice via strikes, but working from the guard of Lima. And you talk about not accepting the position. Well, Lima here trying to neutralize Jackson, but like you said, John, Jackson still landing shots, scoring blows.
And winning the round.
Also a family man. And now they resume action in round 2, and there Lima again attacking the lead leg, going for the calf kick. But
But
In
notice
that first round, sorry, John, 19 of 25 in terms of total strikes for Lima, 27 of 37 for Jackson.
exactly, and it's the one thing that you can look at here. Lima's he's working against that takedown, but he was backing up. He's putting himself in a position for Jackson to get in on the takedown. Douglas Lima does well in fights when he's moving forward. When he's moving backwards, his output isn't even half.
Jackson delivering knee strikes. An ass-kneeing machine momentarily. Minute gone here in the second. And Jackson neutralizing Lima, but Lima, we've seen this position before, Gegard Mousasi.
Absolutely.
Where you can't accept it, like you say, John.
No, it cannot be accepted. But right now, there's a lot of pressure as far as where Jackson's carrying his weight, where he's holding on to. This is not an easy position to just stand up out of. A lot of people will say, well, stand up. Well, try.
Well, that may be the operative word, try.
It's not easy to do when you got a 190-some pound guy with his body pressed against yours. Difficult to get out of, but Douglas Lima needs to find the way to do it.
And Jackson needs to make the most of this position, delivering knee strikes, referee watching closely, but has to try to go for the finish. And Jackson, waistlock and another takedown on Douglas Lima. And Douglas Lima's worst nightmares are coming true here in round two. He has already been taken down 3 times by Jason Jackson, John.
Exactly, and this is, well, you know, I hate to say it, but fighters, when they fight, there's things that are seen by other camps. And finally, that blueprint on how to beat you is there, and you've got to make adjustments so those same things don't work. And right now, Douglas Lima has not been able to make those adjustments, and he keeps on ending up in the same position, on his back, in guard, and having someone that he cannot get off the top of him, raining down
It's
shots.
why you watch tape to learn. And so for Jackson, a lot of tape available in terms of how to neutralize and defeat Douglas Lima.
More, you can go back to Pride days. And
I do go back to the Pride days.
Fedor Emelianenko fought a guy named Mirko Krokop who was crushing everybody. Crushing everybody. And Fedor wrote the blueprint on how to beat him by making him go backwards.
Oh, and Lima, though, looking for the submission. Oh, the armbar, the up kick has rattled Jackson. Douglas Lima rocked Jackson with the up kick.
That was a beautiful attempt by Douglas. That's exactly what he needs to do. Do not settle.
Drama here in round 2, a minute and a half left, and Jason Jackson getting caught with the up kick after controlling Douglas Lima on the ground, and Jackson saying maybe it's better from this vantage point. He's continually peppering Lima's head with right hands. And for Douglas Lima, no shrimping of the hips, no trying to create separation, just controlling posture and maybe trying to force a stand-up.
Yeah, if you look at that up kick did not seem to hit Jason Jackson very flush, but his reaction showed that it did hurt him.
Yeah. Of course, the onus now, Jackson, some shoulder strikes, but he does continue to strike Douglas Lima in the face with right hands, and clock continues to tick away here in the second round. And now some hammer fists as Jason Jackson becomes more aggressive with his attack. While Douglas Lima remains on his back. And with his back against the proverbial wall in many ways, coming in with the first losing streak of his career, 3 in a row. And here against Jason Jackson, behind on the scorecards after being taken down a total of 3 times through 2 rounds of action.
It wasn't that clean, but that up kick, but it didn't seem to hit him hard, but he had a reaction like it did hurt him. It did not, if you look at it, it doesn't land flush at all, but there was the reaction, and so the judges are going to think that it did land clean.
Round number 3. 5-round main event. Number 3 ranked welterweight Douglas Lima. Number 4 ranked Jason Jackson. And after 2 rounds of action, what is your unofficial scorecard read?
Right now, even though Douglas Lima did better in that round and he had that up kick, it was still Jason Jackson who should have taken the round. I have him up 2 rounds to none.
Drop kick by Jackson. Feinting. Lima on his back foot, backing up to the fence.
And notice no offense as he backs up. He does not throw very often.
There's that kick, and we've seen him with that calf kick drop Michael Venom-Page a couple times. In fact, it led to that memorable knockout in their first meeting.
Oh, it was absolutely, that calf kick is what did it for him. Jason Jackson is long, and he has the ability to elevate his opponent. Even though Douglas Lima's long, Jason's got long legs. He can get those hips up and bring him over just like he did in the second round. We'll see if he's able to get this takedown the same way. Going back to the Marco Ruas foot stomps.
I think it's a copyright. You have to say old school foot stomps, right?
Old school, got it. There he is.
Oh,
it's nice wizard.
Wizard by Lima ends up in top position. And now Jason Jackson forced to work from his back.
Let's see what Douglas Lima can do.
Butterfly hooks.
This should give him some feeling of, I'm accomplished. He said, I feel better. The fight's not getting away from me.
And yet, Jackson trying to get away from him by trying to get back to his feet, and does so easily. And now changes levels and looks to take Lima down again. John, Douglas Lima let Jackson up on his feet without much of a fight.
And this is where we talk about confidence, and it's exactly what Josh Thompson was talking about.
Yep,
Woe is me.
exactly
Things aren't going my way. And unfortunately for Douglas, they're not going his way. He's got to make them go his way.
Make it 4 for 9 in the takedown department for Jason Jackson. Now a victory's a victory. Looking to get the big win, move one step closer to a title fight. But you know, promoters, they want those dominant wins. They want the emphatic finishes. Anything more Jason Jackson can do from here right now, John?
Yeah, what he needs to do once he's getting to these positions and he gets to this half guard, he needs to find his moments to posture and land big shots. He does that well. And right now he's going after these little shots to try to just make Douglas Lima move a little bit, because Douglas is in that lockdown position on his leg. But posturing and landing big shots, look towards the elbows.
Jackson content to stay in the guard of Douglas Lima.
Well, he's had success for the most part while in the guard. He's been able to control the position. He had that one moment in the last round.
Always looking to improve your position, though, correct? Or should be.
You always should be looking, or damage,
there's some
which
damage.
is what that elbow is.
Exactly, and he's 5 for 5 in terms of elbow strikes landed, and really beginning to open up. He is third. He's 100 of 135 in total strikes. Lima just 36 of 44. You talk about the blueprint, John. Jason Jackson following that blueprint to a T.
Jason really needs to start to
75%
in a way where he is starting to posture up. You're seeing Douglas Lima putting hands to control those arms so he can't get punched. And like I said, he's got very good defense from his guard position, but he's not going to win the fight from his guard position.
And of course, you and Josh and I, we broke this down, analyzed it from all angles, and this I mean, this was one of the potential scenarios.
This is exactly what we thought. We said, you know, if you look and say, how's this going to go? Jason Jackson has the wrestling ability to put Douglas Lima down. If he settles on the bottom, things are not going to go well for him.
Also needs to maybe ratchet up the offense a bit, especially from the top position if he secures the takedown.
Yeah, you know, here's a guy that's looking to get that championships shot. And so you want to impress the promoter, you want to impress Scott Coker and make it to where he goes, I want to put you in that fight. Finishes are what promoters are looking for, and so Jason Jackson needs to look towards that finish.
And great news with undefeated Yaroslav Amosov. Oh, wow, and Lima looking to land a shot as Jackson goes for another takedown. Amosov resuming training in Germany as a scramble. Of course, Logan Storley, the interim champ's expected that they will meet, but fans aren't exactly enthused with what has been an effective game plan for Jason Jackson. And if you know Jason Jackson and you know Douglas Lima, this was the game plan.
This you look at the fighters, you look at where they're good, you look at where they have weaknesses, and you go, this will probably be what you're going to see is Jason Jackson looking to take Douglas Lima down. Can he do it? We believe he can. And if he does, is Douglas Lima going to work at attaining the top position, or is he going to settle on the bottom? We've seen that he is settling for the most part on the bottom, but I'd like to see Jason Jackson start to posture up more, start to use it. He's got his head in the right place, and he's using the cage to create pressure, but big-time elbows and going after
on blood
damage.
Elbows usually lead to blood.
Nothing but colored sweat.
Let the claret flow, Mr. McCarthy. 3:15 left here in the fourth round. And Jackson continues to work from Lima's guard. And for Douglas Lima, struggling on his back, just trying to neutralize Jackson. Referee is right on the spot. Fans would love to see them get at it, and that's, we talked, I mean, we all did. You did as much as anyone. It's obviously a dominant performance in the wrestling department for Jason Jackson, but you want to see more of that.
Yeah, you want to see. The only thing that I could ask more of Jason Jackson is more posture with big elbow shots when he does. And he's trying. You can see that he's trying at times. It's just that Douglas Lima's got a good guard game, and he creates problems with your balance. And so Jason doesn't want to get turned.
Lima not even attempting to shrimp the hips or make any kind of separation, just content close guard here. And can opener by Jackson, but 2 minutes now left in the fourth.
Got the hook sweep going. Cannot elevate. You see Jason bringing his hips back, making his hips heavy. That's what's stopping that sweep right there. A lot of little things going on right now in this position. They don't look like it, but there is. And now you're seeing Jason trying to edge his way forward so he can land bigger strikes.
Lima, meanwhile, adjusting his glove, which, again, it just doesn't seem like mentally he's in this fight right now. It's just he's doing the basic, but man, oh man, a minute and change left in the fourth. Where is that urgency he talked about bringing into this fight, where he said losing would not be an option? Again, it's Jason Jackson, who is 5 for 10 in the takedown department, but John, the clock continues ticking away, and so perhaps does the sand in the hourglass of Douglas Lima's career at the highest level.
Yeah, and if you look at the ground control, you're looking at Jackson coming up on 15 minutes of ground control through 4 rounds, with Douglas Lima having 20 seconds.
Douglas Lima's 21st fight in the Bellator MMA page, and it could not be going any worse as he looks to snap a 3-fight losing streak, but the wrestling, the top control of Jason Jackson. The story as we head to the 5th and final round. After 4 rounds, what's your score and what?
I have Jason Jackson pitching the shutout right now.
And so here we go, final round, the 5th and final round of this welterweight matchup between the number 3 ranked Douglas Lima, a former 3-time champion, against Jason Jackson, looking for his 6th straight win and looking for his 6th takedown. He secures it as he hopes to move one step closer to challenging for the welterweight crown currently around the waist of the undefeated Yaroslav Amosov. And of course, we mentioned the interim champion Logan Storley, who's also known for his wrestling pedigree. And oh yeah, Yaroslav Amosov, known for his wrestling pedigree, and that has proven to be the Achilles heel, the kryptonite for Douglas Lima, his takedown defense.
It really has in these last fights. If you take a look at everything, we talked about 5 takedowns by Amosov, 4 takedowns by Mousasi, and now if you take a look at the takedowns here, we're looking at, he's been taken down 6 times.
And then I mean, the referee's right there, and John, obviously you've been there more than anyone as we look at the takedown stats. Because Jason Jackson remains busy is why this fight's not being stood up, right?
It is.
Is it at the discretion of the referee?
And these are the times when you're looking at, as soon as he's closing his guard, Douglas Lima is becoming nothing but defensive. He's the one holding in there. If he opens up his guard and you see that Jason Jackson is just holding position, that's the time for the referee to be able to stand it up. But
warnings of passivity or timidity back in the day, I know you did that.
Yeah, but when the guy in the top position is stalling, you can stand it up. When the guy in the bottom is standing it up,
you're stalling.
You give the guy in the top time to work past it, because you're not there to do a favor for the guy on the bottom.
No, and Lima's trying here, so 2:45 left in the fight.
And here right now, this is getting close to the time you might see Jason Herzog actually interfere in the fight and stand him up. But for the most part, Douglas Lima isn't doing anything to show that he deserves that stand-up. He's got to open up his guard and attempt to at least show that he's trying to move him, and that Jackson is the one slowing it down by holding off.
Final 2 minutes of what has been a takedown clinic by Jason Jackson. And, well, a striking clinic too, John. If you go according to our stats, 173 of 235 for Jackson compared to just 47 of 61 for Lima.
See, but right there, you just saw Douglas Lima looking for that butterfly sweep. He's going after it. He needs to do that consistently. Continue to make these problems for Jason Jackson, but he doesn't have it in him. He's getting tired. His legs are getting heavy, and that's why he goes back to the closed guard. There he is, going back to that hook sweep. He has the ability to possibly get it. That's why he's trying to grab the wrist.
Final minute of the fight. 31-year-old Jason Jackson, originally from Spanish Town, Jamaica, grew up in South Florida, gravitated towards mixed martial arts after being a long-time professional wrestling fan, and at age 19, as you mentioned, John, landed with the Blackzilians, now representing Kill Cliff Fight Club, formerly known as Sanford MMA, and he is 30 seconds away from his 6th consecutive victory, and he adds another big name to his list of victims. His last 3 victories over Paul Daly, Naaman Gracie, Benson Henderson. But here tonight, on the verge of defeating a former 3-time welterweight champion. It may have not been the most entertaining, but for Jason Jackson, as effective as he wanted to be with his wrestling, and we have perhaps witnessed the closing of the championship chapter at minimum in the book of Douglas Lima.
Ladies and gentlemen, having gone the distance, will go now to your 3 judges at cage side. Michael Bell, Anthony Manus, Eric Colon, all have it the same 50-45. I'll have it for the winner by unanimous decision, Jason, the ass-kicking machine, Jackson.
Jason Jackson has just defeated a welterweight standout in Douglas Lima, who has now lost 4 in a row. But for Jason Jackson, it's 6 straight, and he continues to climb the welterweight rankings. Let's go to Big John McCarthy.
I am here with Jason Jackson. Jason, we talked earlier before the fight. You talked about wanting to finish him. You realize how tough an individual he is. You did go to the wrestling like you talked about because that was the path to victory. How are you feeling right now after a very tough fight, but you dominated the entire action?
I felt awesome. And Washington, Seattle, thank you for having me. Now listen, no boo. Lima is a legend. Take nothing from him. He's a legend. He's a tough individual. And I came out here and did what I had to do to get the victory, to get to the next level.
When you went to the wrestling, he was going after the leg kicks early. You went to the wrestling. There was only one time he went for the arm bar. He had the up kick. Were you hurt in that situation, or was it just timing and look?
I don't know if I was hurt because I felt like it was kind of a legal shot, but knowing the sport Douglas is, he's not going to do it on intention. But yes, it kind of dazed me a little bit, and I was like, I got to go on. I can't let this guy take my victory because I'm dominating already.
So right now, we have Yaroslav Amosov is coming back. He's got time. He needs time for his training. We have Logan Storley, who is the interim champion. Who is it that you should be fighting next? Those two are probably going to get matched up. Who is it that you need to face in this cage to get that championship's shot?
Look, I'm just kidding. I was going to say Logan, but now. I love you, Logan. You know that. And Amosov, get right, fight Logan, and whoever the winner is, I want them out of respect because I know those are both opponents. Yes.
So you would rather wait and not fight anyone, or is there someone out there that you believe you should go against to keep you sharp?
There ain't nobody else. I want somebody in front of me. MVP, he is doing bare knuckle, best of luck. When he come back, hopefully I win the title and he get a shot next.
What about you and MVP though?
We both Jamaican. We both love to fight. So, that's gonna be an awesome future fight. So, but I want that belt. That's what I want.
Sounds good to me. Congratulations on a very dominant performance. Ladies and gentlemen, the ass-kicking machine, Jason Jackson.
Henderson, 7 years the elder of Jackson, who is much taller and will have an 8.5-inch reach advantage. Here's Michael C. Williams.
Bellator MMA now features tonight's co-main event, 3 5-minute rounds in the welterweight division. And now live on CBS Sports Network, we introduce the Blue Corner. At 6'1", weighing in 170 pounds even. As a professional, 12 wins, 4 losses by way of Jamaica. He fights out of Hollywood, Florida, Jason, the ass-kicking machine Jackson. And across the cage, his adversary, fighting out of the red corner. At 5'9", weighing in 170 pounds, the former 2-time lightweight world champion brings 28 professional victories, 9 defeats. Fighting out of Phoenix, Arizona, Smooth Benson Henderson. Henderson. And the referee in charge, Mike Beltran.
Mike Beltran, our referee. Benson Henderson at 170 on a month's notice against Jason Jackson. Fight scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds.
First round. You ready to fight? You ready to fight? Go.
Here we go. Tonight's fight clock presented by Geico. Henderson, the southpaw. He is in the red gloves. Jackson in the blue gloves with that huge reach advantage.
Jason Jackson just a little bit pumped up coming out in this fight. Normally he's smooth and relaxed and calm. He wants to get after it.
Well, John, he knows that Benson normally has a hard time with a fast start. So jump on him and make him fight early. If you can catch him early, you can get him out of there.
And the irony of that is Benson got off to a fast start in his last fight, but got caught. He said, you know what? Stay in this game long enough, it's going to happen.
Well, he's absolutely right. But he did get off to a very good start against Michael Chandler. Was doing good things, and it was just that little switch up that Chandler did, switching to a southpaw stance. He didn't see the shot, landed behind the ear. It can happen anytime.
He said, I wasn't expecting it, and it got me, and I won't let that happen again. The one constant thing in life is change.
Blackjack Party, Blackjack Saloon.
Eddie Alvarez watching the fights, talking about his buddy Jason Jackson.
Eddie used to train with Jason Jackson when he was part of the Brazilians, which is now basically Hard Knocks 365, which is now Sanford MMA. But Jason Jackson, you know, when he's walking out here and you're saying that he says nobody knows me. Well, I've known him for a long time, and I can tell you that now he is just an outstanding fighter. He's gotten better and better, and he is a handful in the cage.
Well, he trains with a lot of top-level wrestlers. He trains with Logan Sterling, who we just saw fight last week against Yaroslav Amosov, who's 25-0. Logan Sterling was 11-0 at the time before that fight.
Mara Usman.
And then they're coached by Greg Jones. You also have Gilbert Burns, who's a top-level jiu-jitsu guy. So he's gonna, no matter what Benson does, he's already seen all these things from his training partners.
See it right there. That says a lot about Jason Jackson. We talked about his defensive wrestling. Right there. Respond. Do not accept. Make him pay for it. Him coming in, landing that shot. I want you to have something in return.
Well, here's the thing with Benson Henderson. He's got heavy, hard leg kicks, and everyone knows that. So what happens when he fights people, they usually succumb to that leg kick. They just take it and don't return it back. Jason Jackson right now is proving that he's not afraid of those leg kicks.
Benson has talked about how diligently he has worked on his striking game, and he wants to showcase it.
Yeah, he talked about a lot of the work that he did with Rob Emerson. Yep. Very happy with that. And he says, I just need to bring it to the cage now.
It will always surprise me how he can fight with his hairline. It drives me absolutely crazy.
Move the shoulders and move the head.
Well, Clay Guida took it to a whole nother level. Benson puts something around it most of the time. Good exchange.
I mean, I want to remind people, though, Benson's fought, what, 3 times at welterweight?
3 times at welterweight.
Both times in the UFC, he's got wins over the welterweight fighters there. He came over to the Bellator, and he lost to Korshkov badly. And here he is now fighting.
I know that's not nice to say, but it wasn't a really close fight.
But Benson can admit that as well to himself.
And it was very similar to what we're seeing here. It's the length that he had to deal with against Korshkov. He's got that same problem in dealing with Jason Jackson.
Yeah, but the 2 wins that he had in the UFC at 170, one was against Brandon Thatch and the other one against Jorge Masvidal.
That's true.
That was a nice head kick. He landed a little bit with the knee. Should have followed up with something right after that, after it landed.
Oh, that was a big left hook by Jason Jackson. Yeah, the one thing that you're seeing right now, and you know, Josh, when you're able to control the distance like Jackson is doing right now, nice knee on the exit, it is very difficult when you've got that reach advantage that he has. Benson has got to figure out a way to get into him without getting damaged.
Ben's got to be careful because he's dipping his head every time to make up that reach advantage by trying to throw the loopy overhand right and left.
Michael Chandler stopped Benson Henderson. He was the first man to stop him in nearly 6 years. 30 seconds on the clock, round 1.
Good jab, slip.
Smooth one. It's tough to finish. Good body shot from Henderson.
30 seconds, 50 seconds.
One of the things I really like what I'm seeing out of Jason Jackson is he's returning. Anytime he gets hit, he returns with something.
CBS Sports Network. Round 2. John Crouch, while we were in commercial break, said the most important thing for Benson to do in the exchanges when he comes out, Josh, guard up. Keep that guard up, because those kicks and the returns, as John talked about, are coming from Jason Jackson.
Yeah, I've shared the cage with Benson. He's not a fast guy. He doesn't hit extremely hard. His leg kicks are hard and they're heavy, but they're not fast either. So the fact that that's how Jason Jackson's able to return. He's catching them and then he's coming right back after.
And the one thing that you're actually, when you see a guy catching that kick like that, means he sees it.
Still heavy though.
Nice return.
Well, it's like Jason said, the toothpick and the big legs. And we've said it many times with Benson. Looks like he would be a fullback or tailback in the NFL with that low frame and the power.
Well, before I fought Benson Henderson, everyone kept telling me how big he was. I got in there when I saw him at the weigh-ins, and I'm like, you're not a big guy. He's physically not. He's got big legs. He's got big calves. He's got a small waist and kind of bigger shoulders. But physically, he's not a big guy. And he's not a strong guy either. He's got good technique, as you're seeing right here. He's good at the entry, but the strength of Jason Jackson is overpowering Benson.
That was a very nice reverse of that takedown. Benson's the one that initiated. Jackson's the one that flipped him through. Ends up in the top position. Benson needs to open a guard here and attack Jason Jackson. Do not stay on your back in this position and just accept the shots, and you've got to either get yourself out or go after the submissions.
Well, what Jason's, you can see that he's improved in his wrestling because Benson's shooting with the head on the outside. So what Jason's doing is pushing on the head and then butt dragging him by and sitting to his hip and able to get to the back. And then Benson has to abandon it to try to get back to his feet, which he wasn't able to in this exchange.
Benson Henderson, a Brazilian
Nice step over by Jackson.
Sorry, Mike. No problem. Under John Crouch, which just gives more credence to Jason Jackson and what he's doing right now.
See, this is what I'm talking about, where Jason Jackson has improved, because it used to be when Jason would hit the ground with anybody, he was just looking to get back to his feet. He would not engage on the ground because he was worried about it. Now he's feeling comfortable, and it's exactly what Josh was talking about. His work with Gilbert Burns, who is unbelievably good on the ground, has now given him a confidence he never had before.
Yeah, Gilbert's not bad. He's phenomenal.
I'm going to tell him you said that.
He's probably watching, by the way.
Iron sharpens iron.
Up here, man, up. Up right here, get up here underneath.
I mean, you talk to anybody out of that camp, though, they talk about Gilbert Burns' work ethic, but they also talk about the fact that he's
got a front kick if he wants to go with it. He needs to be careful about where he's at. Nice job of saying, no, it's not there. Let me take the back.
That was a nice transition by Benson, though, to continue to roll and turn his chin to get out.
Yes.
Benson has not been submitted since his second fight against Anthony Pettis in August of 2013. 7 years ago. 90 seconds on the clock.
We wouldn't have seen that type of transition from Jason Jackson attacking the neck like that if it wasn't for the guys that he trains with and have in Sanford every day.
Henry Hoof, Tommy Barzini, Ray Jones, and a ton of great fighters.
You're talking every day that Jason Jackson is working out. He's training with guys that are killers.
Nice job by Benson to hit that little peek out, coming out on the double now, sucking his hips away from the fence. He's got a minute to do work, John.
Yeah, but with Jason's back, he's got to get his back off of the cage.
That was a little bit of a missed opportunity right there by Benson, not to get his hooks in, control the position better. This is not where he wants to be. He wants to try to mat return him, lift, put him back down on the ground.
Nice grab, he rolled through. Look at Jason Jackson, he's a ground fighter now.
20 seconds.
I am loving what I'm seeing from Jason Jackson.
Cut the arm back. Get that leg free first. Get that leg free. There you go.
Oh, nice knee.
That's a good knee. Keep that wrist.
Ben's got to get that underhook high. Now he's going to start trying to elevate that knee to drop the knee into the body there as well.
Spectacular performance through 10 minutes by Jason Jackson.
Tuck in your strength.
Man, you gotta love Henry Hoof.
I loved it.
He said, don't play around on the floor.
That's not what he was saying.
I know. I was cleaning it up, John. All right, you already did that. Don't play around on the floor.
Go follow it. Let's go. Yeah. Stand up. Fight.
It was a little bit late.
Keep bumping it. Yes, it's working. Simple stuff.
Benson behind on the scorecard.
Oh, nice job. Again, hide those kicks behind the hands. That's when it works. That was a beautiful execution by Jason Jackson.
Just get him back to that kick. Nice knee. And now your hands to your kicks. Let's go.
Benson Henderson is just tough as nails, man. He has got no quit in him. He is always searching for a way to come out with a beautiful body shot by Benson.
38th professional fight for Benson Henderson, who turned 37 on Monday. He's been stopped only 4 times.
Nice job on elevating the leg and then stepping between.
Yeah, I was a little surprised that he let go of his hands on the legs when he did, though. Allowing Jackson to swing his leg in so he could at least attempt to stand up.
Well, what he did, John, was he let go of the legs and he elevated the one that he was going to circle to that side on, so then Jason Jackson had no choice but to go to his knees to give Benson his back. Nice reversal though by Jason Jackson. Oh,
nope.
Physical strength though of Jason Jackson.
When you got, and especially when you've got a guy that's got long arms like that, and you're trying for that, what is a Khmer that ends up into a straight arm lock, very difficult to make it work.
Don't play around there.
John and Josh, you guys have both talked about length obviously makes a difference on the feet, but it can make a big difference on the ground as well.
It definitely can. When you're working with a guy that's got what we call long levers, it sometimes what you normally are able to pull up, you can't based upon the length of that arm.
And walk that Darce there.
He's got that. He just let go of it. Didn't feel it was right.
Oh, he was told not to play around on the floor.
In a much more colorful way.
Yes. And when you talk about leg kicks, you don't ever want to get kicked by Henry Hoof.
Stay heavy. Good shoulder pressure. On the leg. Get ready for the dive.
Benson's going to have to figure a way out of the position because, in my opinion, he's behind in the fight. It's not that he hasn't been fighting well. He has. But he's got to do something here to get to a position where he can make a big statement against Jason, which he just tried.
Henry just said the same thing. Don't play with him there. 2 minutes.
Put your punches together, Jason. Make your feet work. Don't stand still. Don't stand still.
I like what you're hearing. You saw Jason Jackson almost threw that kick when he was on the ground. But make your feet work. That is great advice by Henry Hoof in that stand-up.
The length of Jason Jackson has Benson missing on those kicks by a big distance, and he's slipping because of it, John.
Exactly, and it's because he's trying to overextend.
Yes.
That's exactly what it is. Look at you there, Goldie, knowing about that overextension.
Wow, you and Josh have talked. A lot of things, but we won't talk about that. Jason Jackson said this is the biggest opportunity in my life
You got a minute there. Elbow.
to go against a champion from 2 different organizations.
We gotta go, champ. We gotta go. Put those legs back.
A mixed martial artist truly known around the world. And man, is he doing a nice job.
When you can compete against a guy that has done everything that Benson Henderson, we're talking about a rare competitor here. To have that opportunity to get in the cage and to execute against him, It's a special
30
moment.
seconds.
You know what surprises me the most out of him, by him, John, is that it doesn't matter who he fights and how much punishment he takes, he never leaves the cage with a mark on his face.
He doesn't.
Cut the arm back, cut the arm back.
It's the hair.
Now he's just built to something that we have no idea what it is.
15 seconds.
There's just differences, and he's got that.
10 seconds. Punch it in the face.
One for the attack on the leg. That's a nice move by Benson.
One more fight.
That was a Hail Mary right there. Yeah, that was a Hail Mary.
Oh, Henry, that's what you meant.
Our co-main event goes the distance.
Ladies and gentlemen, the judges' scorecards from cage side. Dave Peabody, Michael Bell, Doug Crosby, all seed exactly the same, 30-27. All have it for the winner by unanimous decision, Jason, the ass-kicking machine Jackson.
Victor, thank you, Judge.
Congratulations to Jason Jackson. And thank you, Benson Henderson, for taking this fight on short notice.
Hey, what's up, guys? This is Francis Ngannou. Subscribe now.